So let's continue this Helliquary quest by doing this challenge rift. It needs us to do an 11, which we happen to have up there. Now the 10, as you can see here, I wanted to point this out, does have an extra reward for basically honor and whatnot. So this one is going to give us enchanted dust, honor, and a rune, but the 10 had 50 honor, 6 of these, and 21 of these runes. And of course, you know, the first completion of these, it's like I haven't completed a 6, so we would get bonus for that, or an 8, or 10, or 11, like so on and so forth. So we're gonna do our 11, and we're gonna essentially kill the boss that it wants for the Helliquary, which is fine. I think that this is a pretty cool little system where it's teaching you, you know, how the Helliquary essentially works, and that's a good thing. Let's get these guys grouped up. Absolutely destroy them. Man, I tell you what, very few things feel as good as that. It's just a fun little, just explosion of doom, and it feels really good to nail that. Wait, was there a... Oh, it was the body. It looked like there was another rare group down there, but it was a body of one of the guys. I have a lot of thoughts to share about these, like, interim areas, kind of more of what I mentioned in the last video of me just not generally vibing with how the space between the leveling zones, you know, essentially works in this current build. And I've got a lot of feedback on that. But this kind of stuff where it's showing you how the challenge rift works, I think works excellent. This is nice. This is fun. It's sending me into content that is enjoyable to do, that I don't feel like I'm being forced to do, right? It's like a player mentality thing, a player psychology thing, where I am doing content that I feel like I want to do. Even though, if I didn't have this Helliquary system going, oh man, let's get all these guys grouped up. This is going to be juicy. If I didn't have this Helliquary system, I would feel like I'm being forced to just do challenge rifts. And for whatever reason, with player psychology, that is just worse. Right? Even though it's the same thing. I'm being forced to do a challenge rift in order to progress. It wants me to do a challenge rift. Specifically, it wants me to do a challenge rift 11, right? So that's how that works. But because I'm doing it for the Helliquary, I feel like I'm making progress. I feel like I'm getting something out of being forced to do it, as opposed to just trying to bridge the gap between two leveling zones, right? And player psychology makes a pretty big difference to how, you know, you feel like you're perceiving the game, how you feel like you're having fun or not, right? If you feel like your time is not being respected, or you're kind of being, what's the word for it? Kind of milked for your own time, then it feels kind of icky. And generally speaking, and this isn't just a game design thing, but generally speaking, if something feels icky, it probably is to some degree, even if it's not intended to be. This is a thing that generally happens with monetization in video games. If monetization feels icky to the players, there's probably a degree of it being icky, even if it's not intended to do so. Ooh, what did we just get there? Why did that not open my inventory? I tapped on the inventory. Oh, I think it was a gem. Okay. No, was it a gem? No, we got something. I don't know what it was. Oh, it was for the Helliquary. Right. Gotcha. Okay, so let's go through. I'm like, was that a legendary? No, I just wasn't really paying attention to what we picked up. So we need to go talk to him. Is it going to auto-navigate me? It will. Yeah, so like monetization in games is not a bad thing necessarily. A company that is making a video game needs to monetize their game in one way or another. You're not just going to put out a free game and be like, it's free for everybody, for everything is free, and we're going to keep our employees paid on merit, right? Like, no, that's not how that works, right? So like monetization in a product is not necessarily a bad thing, but when it feels icky, when it feels like it is not respecting the consumer, then it probably is a little bit icky. Same thing goes with game design. If something feels like it's not respecting the player's time or just respecting the player in general, then if it feels icky, it may very well be a little bit icky. You've done it. I knew you would. If you look at the Helliquary, you'll see places to stash demonic remains like Pile left behind. Or Pill? Pile? I don't know. Once placed, they can seal and siphon demonic energies. Cool. Yeah. Place it. What? This is such a cool UI system. 10 out of 10. Whoever did this. Like, that looks fantastic. Pick up the Helliquary to equip it. So we're going to pick it up. What an interesting thing. Just, you got to pick it up. Tap to select a demonic remain. Right. So we have the why is that not working? Okay, hold on. Open the inventory. Nope, not the inventory. Open the menu. Go to Helliquary. Tap. Oh, I see. And put it in there. I don't know why my brain is not working today. We're going to tap this. So this gives us 10% crit hit chance in Challenge Rift only. Also 50 offense rating, 50 defense rating. So we seal that in there. It's done. Did it work? Can you feel the strength flowing through you? Yes, I can. Give me that Helliquary. We have to test it. I know what to do. There's a bounty on the board that no one has been able to complete. This is the perfect opportunity to test your newfound power. Oh yeah, talk to the quartermaster. So this is this is kind of what I want to really dig in on during this episode. This episode, by the way, may very well be a little shorter than some others. We'll see how long it takes me to do these tutorialized things. I wouldn't even say it's a tutorial. It's more like it's just walking you through how things work, which I know is technically a tutorial, but you know what I mean. It doesn't feel like a tutorial. It feels like this is part of the game. Check the board if you're looking for bounties. Yeah, quests. Okay, you're here about that bounty. A powerful evil has corrupted the rift. No adventurer has been able to defeat it, but maybe you're the only one who will do so. Yeah, me and everybody else has done this. Testing the limits. An evil force continues to evade destruction in the challenge rifts. It always seems to be one step ahead of us. But if you move quickly, you may be able to surprise it. Is it a xenomorph? Is it a xenomorph? It feels like a xenomorph. So we can go up to 13. We need to do a 14. So we're just going to go ahead and get in there and do the 13 as we kind of talk a little bit about this. So the fact that this is running me through this tutorialized thing, it's walking me through a system and like, hey, this is how this system works. There's these, obviously you have the challenge rifts that you've already been introduced to. Well, the boss is in there. You can get stuff for your Helliquary. The Helliquary gives you bonuses. It's like, cool. I like this. This is teaching me something. It's not just teaching me something. It's giving me the opportunity to explore this system and to go ahead and get comfortable with it. Because, well, like most of the stuff they've given to us so far, it's something you're going to be interacting with for a lot of time within this game. And that's totally fine, right? Like, there's a lot of systems in this game, and they do an applaudable job of delivering stuff to you at a pace that feels rewarding and feels like you're not being overwhelmed. Can I not? Oh, I really want it. No, it wasn't gonna let me do it. I do wish I could ditch the wall like that, like you can in D3 on sometimes like weird pieces of geometry where you can dash over or teleport over. It does feel good as the player to be able to skip geometry sometimes or skip part of the level. So yeah, I feel like this stuff feels fun to do. I feel like I'm making progress. I think this is an important part of it. I feel like I'm making progress towards the needs of my character. I am actively pushing my character's progression forward even though if you took away the Helliquary part of this and it was simply do challenge rifts, it would feel like it does with the gaps between 30, like let's say 30 and 35. Where you hit 30, you go do some of the Shasar C stuff, and those gaps are filled in by go do bounties, go do challenge rifts, do your daily stuff where it's like, hey, you get bonus battle pass points and stuff like that. Like that's fine to do that stuff if it were in the context of not necessarily tutorializing it, but giving you things to do within those systems that feel like you've got meaningful progress towards your character. But if it feels like I just have to do this to progress to the next major plot point in the story while leveling up, then it doesn't feel good. It actually feels counterintuitive to this. It takes you out of it. Like I said in the previous episode, it's kind of like binge watching, a series that just came out on Netflix versus having to watch it week to week and then kind of losing interest in it. And I think that's a fairly good analogy for how the system makes me feel in its current state. So I think that it can easily be adjusted, where either you're getting more experience points out of the quest there where you're not having that gap to begin with, or just making that gap feel more meaningful. At this point, this is an important thing. Right now, this gap feels meaningful. I'm going to have to get to 45 to do Mount Sylvain. But this gap that I'm having to do feels like I'm doing meaningful stuff in it because I'm learning about the Helliquary. I'm learning about a new system. I'm engaging with that system. It's teaching me about said system by allowing me to touch it. It's an important concept in board games as we pick all this stuff up. If you're teaching somebody how to play a board game, let's say you're teaching them how to play something relatively simple, like Ticket to Ride, or even relatively complicated, I say relatively, extremely complicated, like Twilight Imperium 4th edition, or Dune. some very complicated games, especially Dune. It is important, as someone who is teaching your friends how to play these games, simple or complicated, to touch stuff. It's a weird little thing human brains do. When you physically touch a game piece, like some of the some of the miniatures in Twilight Imperium, or checking out what all of the different individual faction powers are in Dune, which, by the way, I'm super excited for that movie, even though it looks like we're not going to get the continuation because it's only just the first part of the first book that they're putting a movie out for. And I doubt that the Warner Brothers, with everything that's going on with this current merger, there's a lot going on there. Anyways, I'm really excited for that movie, even though I don't think there'll be more movies coming afterwards. Dune is a great book. Everybody should read it. But if you're teaching somebody the board game Dune, and they're able to touch the different factions and look at them and read them as you're explaining the game, or just playing with like the individual little pieces, your brain has a weird part of it that activates, that gets you to focus on what is being taught a little bit better, and you're able to retain that information. If you're teaching someone a game and you say no touching, their interest goes down because they don't get to touch the cool. Like, board games are really cool little anomalies in the fact that you have these very physical pieces that are so tactile and fun to just touch. And if you don't let the people you're teaching how to play that game touch those cool, fun little tactile pieces, they're going to lose interest in your explanation, and therefore not understand the game, and therefore not actually enjoy it when you sit there and play it for 2 hours or 12 if you're playing Twilight Imperium. The thing is, this is a similar concept that is working here. I feel like this is a system I am being taught. Man, those explosions just feel so... I just can't stop saying it. The exploding palm is the best thing ever. Especially when you nail it with like the setup and delivery of the exploding palm combo. The thing is, I have this system, this game system that I'm being taught. And while I'm being taught it, the game is allowing me to tactically go and mess around with it. And I love it. We need more of that, in my opinion. If 30 to 35 didn't have this huge gap where you just had to go grind out your levels, and it felt like you had meaningful progress that you were making on your character, and that was through the use of gameplay mechanics that are tactically teaching you about a system that maybe you haven't learned about before. Like, we just learned that there is a, what was it called? It's called the Arena, I think, in Bilefen, which is a PvP system. It's not something that you really want to sit there and tutorialize to players, because there's plenty of people who are intimidated by PvP and don't want to do it. I totally get that, right? But let's say that was a PvE system that was being interacted with there. That would be a really good way during this little gap to 45 to teach me that stuff, to move me on to the next leveling area, to tactically play with those game pieces, right? To engage my brain, to make it think that I'm not doing something that isn't tedious. And that's how that works. That's how that works. That's my opinion on that. I'm sure if I sat down with like Wyatt, for example, and just had a discussion on how and why these systems were designed, I probably would get a much clearer idea of why there is that gap, and would be able to convey quite a bit better feedback on that. But even though the people that you see playing Immortal right now have generally, if they're a content creator, generally some pretty nice access to, you know, the developers in a way where we can send them good feedback and be like, hey, this is what we think, and get responses back. And even though we have access to that, we still don't have like a full write-up of like the design document of the game. So that's just one of those weird things where I'm trying to convey my opinions of what the system feels like to me, and what I feel like it should feel like, because that is a pretty easy way of providing feedback, as long as I'm doing it coherently, that the team, the developers, can either look at and say, okay, yes, that is adhering to our philosophy of what we wanted you to feel, or that is not adhering to that and is counterintuitive to the, you know, what we're trying to do. So it's just interesting stuff when you're dealing with a game that is still testing and still in development. And I think it's crucial to mention that I really love Diablo Immortal. And as I mentioned before, I kind of feel like it's better Diablo 3 in a lot of ways. And Diablo 3, at least me, I really enjoy it. It's a solid game. I have a hard time playing Path of Exile because, like, gameplay-wise, it just doesn't have the juice. But Diablo somehow manages to have that gameplay juice, like combat feel-wise. And Immortal has that in spades. It just feels really good to play. I can't stop talking about how good it feels to land these exploding bombs and to combo with my character. Right? But it's also important to, in the testing phase, be critical of it and be honest and provide useful feedback. So I wanted to mention that because I don't want people to feel like over these last couple episodes I'm being hypercritical of the game because I don't like it. I'm being critical of it because I love it and I want it to be better, and I want to make sure that it's the best product it can be, you know, reasonably speaking. Obviously it's not going to be perfect, It'll take way too much development time, and that's just not how development works. So yeah, I'm being critical of it because I'm loving this so far, and I don't want to feel like people are looking at my criticism saying, oh, he doesn't like the game anymore. No, I love this, and I'm having so much fun with this game. I'd lost count of how many adventurers took on this bounty from me and failed to deliver. Truly, you deserve this prize. For your deed, I slipped some scoria in there. Oh, yeah. I know you adventurers make use of it. Keep doing bounties for me, and I'll keep you well supplied. What? Yeah, let's open that. That feels good. See, now it's heading me down here. Yes, I knew it would work. Oh, he's right here. How's it going, buddy? Why didn't you come up here before? The Helliquary? Is it everything I hoped it would be? It's extraordinary, Rayok. You should be proud of your creation. Oh, I am, I assure you. But this small test is just the beginning. That gift he gave you, that was scoria, wasn't it? That's the same material we constructed the Helliquary from. Grab it and follow me. I have another idea. Okay, cool. I actually like this character quite a bit. I don't know if I mentioned that in the previous episode. I feel like he's snarkily written and it works. Do you know Charcy? I mean, of course you do. It's true. Why wouldn't I? Played enough Diablo in my day. She was the one who saw promise in my research. She introduced me to Cain, and I couldn't read that fast enough, and I can't wait for the voice acting to be in here, because it's going to be better than anything I could say. That scoria you have, she can use it to strengthen the Helliquary. Upgrade it. Do it. Charcy, I have brought a friend you might recognize. They have a gift for you. Long time no see, and you met Rayok. Let me guess, he's already got you running around testing the Hellfire Reliquary. It's the Helliquary now. It's more impressive sounding. What matters is it works, Charcy. We brought some scoria so you can reinforce it. Ah, of course. Scoria can do some amazing things if you know how to shape it. It's an expensive process, but it's worth it if you can afford the costs. Here, this should be enough to get you started. Okay. It was really weird. It didn't want to. I was
good to see you again.
Pushing the button. It didn't want to do it, but I think that's because I need to wipe my oily screen at this point. Let's refine. Cool. You can find the refined material in your Helliquary. Tap the Helliquary. Touch it. Oh, you know what? Actually, it just dawned on me. Another reason these systems feel very tactile as I'm learning them is literally because I'm playing on a touch screen and I'm touching the systems. It didn't really dawn on me until just now, but that is something that the more I think about now, the more I'm like, oh, that's why I like the systems I've been introduced to, like the book, the lore book crap. I'm like blanking on the name and stuff like that. It's because I'm literally touching the systems, and there is something very tactile about that. If only I could have, like, I don't know, like levels of force feedback on my phone that you have on, I don't know, like a PlayStation 5 controller. I think that would be pretty cool. We're not there yet. We will be, maybe in 10 more years. Let's head back to Cain's workshop. I'll see you there. Okay. Can I close this? So I should say my offense rating and defense rating has now gone to 96 instead of the 80 it was at. My crit hit chance is at 10% in a challenge rift only. Cool. Let's go to the workshop. I'm going to let it auto nav me there. Yeah, like we have this to the arena. Investigate the ancient arena and Biofen. Like that is something that is tutorialized. But oh, hey, look who it is. It's my buddy in crime. So this is Nineball. If you don't know, he works with me on Diablo Fans. Funny seeing him here. You know, that's the best part about this test, by the way. It's just running into all of my random friends and people that I work with. It's just like, oh, hey, look who it is. All right, let's talk to him. Cain was right about you, friend. So you are ready for what happens next. First, place the Helliquary back on its platform. All right. I'm not allowed to touch it anymore. They're making me put it back. Yeah, I'll place it back down. That's fine. Fine, it's your Helliquary. Look, there's a new guy. That's what he's going to say. He looks like a demon. It's working. It detected another demon. Could have told you that. Oh, pick up the Racebone Helliquary. Okay. Pick up. Touch it. Let me touch it. Don't touch the button. Let me touch the button. You know how it is. Tap to learn about the race-born demons. All right. Man, again, this UI with the art and everything, 10 out of 10. Lasso of the Flame. You know what, actually? I feel like someone who's picking this game up on their phone and has never really played a phone game is going to be blown away. And I think it's going to exceed their expectations. And I think it should, because this is so well done. Lasso of the Flame Spun. Burn it all. Let the world collapse in twisted blackened flames. Be my hand. By the Inferno I command. Be turned to ash. Focus the Helliquary. Okay, yeah. So quest accepted. It is telling me to tap the remains to see it. We have to reinforce it. Find the scoria. Blah, blah, blah. So I will gain 10% attack speed in challenge rifts only. 100 offense rating, 100 defense rating. Cool. I like it. It's also telling me to claim rewards. I got to talk to the quartermaster. I got to complete an elder rift. Like, there's a bunch of stuff it's telling me to do. But we want to go talk to Cain. Ah, are you two finished? Has the Helliquary reliquary, or the Hellfire reliquary, he's even got me saying it, served you well? It's the Helliquary now, apparently, and it's a bit of mid progress. Have we heard anything else about the next Whirlstone shard? No, nothing has changed. The stone still rests upon the mount. Our captain friend did offer to help you with your travels, however. When you're ready, he should be waiting at the docks. Thank you again, Cain. So it's going to take me over here. Yeah, see, talk to Cain, reach level 46. Right. Nineball sent me cool. Thank you, buddy. So the thing is, and this is what brings me back to the discussion over this episode and the last episode. This is fine and dandy. Reach level 46. It also wants me to go do more Helliquary stuff. Completely fine. Love it. Wanted to go do more Helliquary stuff. It's like, here is the system. Go play with it. Here are these board game pieces. I'm teaching you how they work. Pick them up and play with them and read stuff and enjoy this process, because this is very tactile stuff. These are very tactile systems. You see, I'm kind of using that as a... Anyways, I don't need to explain it. You're smarter than that. The problem that I have is then that we are repeating stuff from before too. I know how to do Elder Rifts. I really, at this point, don't want to do more Elder Rifts. It's a cool little system. Don't get me wrong. Gonna get more legendary gems. I get that. Don't want to. I want to continue the story. I don't want to go talk to the bounty master. I don't want to go do the arena. I want to continue this story. At this point, I should be level 46. Or what I have just done should have pushed me to level 46. Or it should be like, hey, go do another Helliquary, and then you will unlock the ability to go to the next area. Those are my feelings on that. That's kind of my feedback in the moment. And I think over time, as we get to 55 and I kind of discuss more as we go, I will have more coherent thoughts on that and of how that kind of stuff works. But so far, that is my feedback. It's like, these little gaps feel bad. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go level up on my own. I'm going to get level 46. I'm going to go do the Helliquary stuff, and then I'll show you guys how all that works in the end. And of course, I should mention that the most efficient way for me to level up is right here. In this version of the alpha and the closed alpha, it is most efficient to just hit new ranks of this as we go, collecting this stuff along the way, because I'm getting huge XP bonuses every time I hit one of these levels. And literally my whole process for these next 4 levels that I have to get is just to fill up this battle pass bar as many times as I can, get a bunch of experience points, and then continue on.